Prologue from Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle. Although he had everything his heart desired, the prince was spoiled, selfish, and unkind. But then, one winter's night, an old beggar woman came to the castle and offered him a single rose in return for shelter from the bitter cold. Repulsed by her haggard appearance, the prince sneered at the gift and turned the old woman away, but she warned him not to be deceived by appearances, for beauty is found within. And when he dismissed her again, the old woman's ugliness melted away to reveal a beautiful enchantress. The prince tried to apologise, but it was too late, for she had seen that there was no love in his heart, and as punishment she transformed him into a hideous beast, and placed a powerful spell on the castle and all who lived there. Ashamed of his monstrous form, the beast concealed himself inside his castle, with a magic mirror as his only window to the outside world. The rose she had offered was truly an enchanted rose, which would bloom until his 21st year, if he could learn to love another and earn her love in return. By the last time the last petal fell, then the spell would be broken. If not, he would be doomed to remain a beast for all time. As the years passed, he fell into despair and lost all hope, for who could ever learn to love a beast? Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Prologue. The world has changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost, for none now live who remember it. It began with the forging of the great rings. 3 were given to the elves, immortal, wisest, and fairest of all beings. 7 to the dwarf lords, great miners and craftsmen of the mountain halls. And 9 rings were gifted to the race of men who above all else desire power. For within these rings was bound the strength and the will to govern each race. But they were, all of them, deceived, for another ring was made. In the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring, and into this ring he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life. One ring to rule them all. I can see your thought process working. Yeah? Do you think trying not to laugh will work by not speaking at all?
No, it's fine.
So you can speak then?
Yeah, I can speak.
Okay.
Just very selective.
Just very selective speaker? Okay. Trying to think of a fun... Anyway, so as I was saying about the guy on the bike, right? So he's upright, cycling along, and then Alicia and I, we turned around.
It's funny, it's actually quite sad.
It's not, it's funny.
It's quite sad. He fell over and hurt himself.
He did not hurt himself because he got right back up there.
But did you even ask if he was okay?
No, we weren't going to...
So he has a Scientologist.
A Scientologist?
And asked if he was okay.
What's a Scientologist?
It's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Why are you talking about Tom Cruise?
It's Tom Cruise.
Oh, right, so you typed in the wrong thing. I don't get why you're bringing up Scientology.
Because it's an inside joke.
Oh. I'm going to read you a poem.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm giggling. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves and the mumraths outgrabe. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub bird and shun the frimness bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the mammock's foe he sought, so rested he by the tum-tum tree and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through and through. The vorpal blade went snicker-snack, he left it dead, and with his head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, callooh, callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig and the sliffy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe, or mimsy were the borogoves and the momraths outgrabe.
Everything human is pathetic. The secret source of humour itself is joy, but sorry, there is no humour in heaven.
Oh. What song do you find represents you the most?
See, I've quite learned like especially living with like my friends this year, a lot about myself, and apparently I'm really unpredictable.
Ooh.
And like random, and someone once called me bipolar.
Oh.
Yeah, which was a bit of a, but you know.
Yeah.
And so I'd say I'm different genres really.
Oh, okay. Last question. If you could create any type of music, what sort of music would you create?
There's a band called Fickle Friends, which I quite like the sound of, but it's not a very sort of like chord guitar bass, which is what I quite like. It's you know, kind of like happy guitar.
Sure.
Like I have like Logic Pro on my laptop, so I can like distort my guitar, so I can make it go really heavy metal, which kind of like hides my lack of skill in guitar better. But yeah, sort of like a sort of a clean electric guitar sound.
I'm here outside the University of Lincoln, where it has recently begun to snow. I'm here with snow enthusiast Ali. Ali, tell me, how are you finding the snow?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I love the cold. I love the cold. I love layering up for winter, so I'm all for it.
How would you describe the snow that we've been having today?
It's sort of quite wet snow, it's sort of a bit sleety. It's not really settling at the moment, you can see, but I've got high hopes as the temperature slowly starts to drop tonight that it will settle.
Out of 10, how would you rate this snow?
I mean, sort of from other years, it's probably about 7.
7?
Yeah, for this time of year, it's quite early still. We haven't really technically entered winter, so it's going good.
Excellent. I'm trying to think about one of my clearest memories of the snow. I remember this one time I was in Ireland outside like my grandparents' house, and I don't know if it's an actual memory, if it's something you dream. Like you know, sometimes when you have dreams, but you're not sure if it's a memory or not. And I remember it like snowing really, really heavy, and I remember looking outside their window, and it's just they lived in like one of those little like complexes for old people. And I just remember it all being full of snow. And I remember me and my sisters being a lot younger, and I remember running out and us having snowball fights, and then building like a snowman on my grandparents' drive. And it was just like pure childhood snow times.
I think I was about 13 or so. I was with my friend Joanna, and her mum had a old like vintage wooden sleigh. And because I live in a village, and technically my village is like on a hill, so we went to the edge of the village where there's like a field that has cows on like a big massive hill, and we went along there. Technically it was trespassing, so we had to go in between like barbed wires and like underneath. Everyone does it, and you can see like the whole trail and everything. We went in this massive hill with a sleigh